Hi, Amber. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. And you?
Good, thank you. Where are you right now?
I'm in Germany.
In Germany. Nice. Well, I'm in Mexico. I am one of the Mexican representatives of Cultura and Peso. So now this recording is being made from Mexico. Yeah. I've been checking the new album from Xandria, and it's quite interesting. It has a lot of things, a lot of elements. So I'm curious about a couple of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I heard that, well, yeah, that you started writing the songs with Marco before even thinking of it being an album, and you joining Xandria. Is that right?
Yeah, that's true.
And so I think the name of the album and the lyric content is like very philosophical, even critical. So I'm curious about how that songwriting is starting. Were you just hanging out and were discussing about something, or how everything started?
Yeah. So during the break, because we knew each other from before, and during the Xandria break, we just were thinking of maybe a side project, something fun to put our ideas into it. And it started even a little bit more as an extreme symphonic metal mixed with some black metal and like a little bit free like this. And at some point when Marco started to write the song for Xandria, ideas he had, those songs we noticed that they could also fit together in Xandria if we were putting more orchestral arrangement into it. And so yeah, we started going into that direction, and I recorded demos, and he really liked my voice on them, so he asked me to be part of the band, and then we just continued writing ideas, and he wrote all the melodies and the music, but I was sitting with him a lot of the times, giving feedback, ideas, and yeah. So it kind of ended up really diverse in a way, but I think it's one of the strong point of that album, according to a lot of people now. So yeah, and the lyrics we also shared. I wrote a little bit less than half of the lyrics, and yeah, we always have those theme about politics, philosophy. Also, this was my study. I studied philosophy in university, so of course, sometimes it happens to end up in my lyrics. And yeah, politics also is a big topic, and Marco also really likes to write about these things. 1 second, I'm sorry, the door was ringing. Okay.
Sorry, what was that?
Hello.
Oh,
Danke. Cheers. I'm really sorry.
oh, no worries.
Packages. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Continue.
Oh, so you studied philosophy. That's quite cool. And
Yeah.
and yeah, there's always, well, I think there's always like a room in music for putting those kind of thoughts, like philosophy and sociological things, like
Absolutely. I
music
agree.
and even metal. Like metal, I think it's a great genre for talking about that, right?
Absolutely. Completely agree with that.
Yeah, pretty good. And well, now I'm curious, is there any recording? I wonder that if it exists, it's not publicly available, but is there any recording of those those songs that were more like black metal or more not so much as symphonic metal?
So that's interesting because, for example, one of the first song that we started like that, it was more like I was saying, oh, I'd like a Cradle of Filth kind of music, maybe a bit more symphonic. So we went onto that idea, And Marco wrote a song like this. I put some ideas. I was like, oh, it's a bit oriental. I love it. And actually, that song ended up being Asteria, the last song on the album, just transformed a little bit. Some parts we kept, and some part like a little bit more extreme we replaced. We put more orchestral and more oriental vibe into it, and it ended up like this. And actually, a few songs ended up on the album, just that we changed them a little bit, or more or less, some more, some less.
No, that's interesting. Yeah. I mean, I think that's pretty cool too. Like you can, sometimes you can transport a song from a genre to another one, but keeping the essence of it. Like it's not,
Absolutely.
sometimes I think it's not that easy. Like you can see it when with some cover songs that they make a cover and they completely change the intention. But I think sometimes it can be made, and it's a very interesting process, I think. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but you're totally right. Some songs were really difficult. It took a long time until Marco realized, okay, this is the direction that this one had to take all along, but we could not see it. So 1 or 2 songs took 1 year in between. We started in the beginning and they were finished at the end of the writing process, because we found the good ideas and what fits the song very late. So yeah, sometimes it was tricky, but good that we had time during the pandemic. Everything was slowing down, so we had a lot of times to write. Marco wrote 17 songs, I think, for that album in the end. So yeah.
Oh. And so how long has this album been cooking for?
I think 3 or 4 years.
Wow. Well, maybe that also that can help to explain, because it's 13 songs and 13 symphonic metal songs. Like if you were talking about grindcore songs or something like that are super short, it wouldn't be so
you're right.
But
You're
13
right, that's funny.
symphonic metal songs, it's a lot.
This is good that you can notice that, because yeah, it's true. And the songs, there's not one song below 5 minutes. That's the first time. And yeah, it's because of that. It's because there was a lot of time, and I think it was a very good thing. Now we won't take that much time. And once we are in the process, it goes faster now. Also because we know the direction, we know my voice, what I can do, what works, what we like. So it can be a bit faster now, which is good. I don't want to wait 5 years until releasing, of course, new songs.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. And so, oh no. Well, it's kind of funny because now the interview is gonna be like, well, there's here in Mexico, let's make a parenthesis. I don't know if you were you able to hear some audio in the back?
No, I did not.
Oh, that's interesting. Then I just opened my mouth for nothing. Well, now I have to tell you. So here in Mexico, there is like a car that goes around neighborhoods buying like old metal things.
Oh yeah, we have that here too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
But I think it's like a scam or something. I think it's a little bit strange.
Okay. No, here is very true. And there is not one. There are like hundreds of those cars, but all of those use the same recording, and it's a recording of a little girl.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, so in all Mexico, is that recording is very well known, because it's also a little funny. And it's an everyday thing, you know, and it's like all around, at least in Mexico City, in different kinds of neighborhoods, you usually listen to that thing. And it just passed, and I thought that it was recorded, but if you didn't listen to it, I guess it wasn't recorded.
No, I did not hear it. I think it kind of cuts the sound around Yeah,
Mhm.
but that's funny.
Oh well. Yeah. So you were saying that Marco also wrote like most of the music, right?
He wrote all the music. Yeah.
Okay. And
I had ideas, of course, about parts and things to do. For example, the children's choir. I came up with this idea, things like this. But the melodies and the music, yes, it's all Marco, and it's all homemade this time.
okay. And good that you mentioned about the choir, because I also had a question related to that. So
Mhm.
because there are two choirs, right?
Yes.
In the album. And
Mhm.
one of them is a very large one.
Yes.
And there are also are like different like special musicians, like guest invited musicians and
Yes.
a singer. So there are a lot of elements. It's a very rich album, I think.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So was it planned? Like, did you plan the return of Xandria to be monumental, or just like happen like, oh yeah, let's put this into this, and let's put this into this song?
Hey, that's a really good question. And it's yes and no, meaning that when we started, there wasn't that business idea. Okay, we're gonna release that album, so we need 10 songs, 11 songs, blah blah blah, with that in it. But it came so natural with some songs that we were like, okay, yeah, in this songs it sounds so epic. We need to give it justice, and we need to give it the sound that the song is asking, and that the fans would love about it. So then we ended up, yeah, thinking, okay, why not inviting this guest to make it more organic, playing the cello and the strings so it can be more touching to the people, because the song is very touching. And then it started slowly when we came closer to having a plan about releasing the album and announcing those things, that we said, okay, let's make it big. Let's make it bigger than ever. Actually, we had that motivation, to challenge everything and to go even further, to make it as big as possible, because it's something that we really love. So we were like, okay, bigger choir than ever. Let's add children's choir. We never did that. It will fit wonderfully in the song. I really love this. And yeah, things like this. Let's have a guest singer, like with a really strong power metal, classical, heavy metal voice to it, that also has not, I mean, yes, there was in Xandria, but yeah, we were really thinking big at that time.
I see, I see. So it was like a little bit of both, right? Like
Yes.
many of them like were organically like thought, and then when
Yes.
you were already like on the way, you were let's make it big.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. Yeah. And so um you are new to Sandra, right?
Hmm.
But you've liked symphonic metal for many years.
Yeah.
And Sandra is it's an older band, like it has a legacy already. So how, from your perspective, how you see symphonic metal now, or like maybe compared to how symphonic metal was like in the 90s when Sandra started, and how is it now? What's your perspective?
Yeah, I always loved symphonic metal because I started metal with it. I started metal listening Within Temptation and Nightwish, and this is what got me into metal music. So I'm really glad that those bands are still around. Okay, Within Temptation now doesn't make symphonic metal anymore, but they have that history for so long. So for me, they're still a symphonic metal band. But yeah, it's still there. There's also so many other bands trying to go with that style, so, which I think it's really great. But of course, it's a difficult genre to make. I can see it. I also did not really knew how much it takes to make a symphonic metal song. To the definition, it's really so much layers, and of course, there's not that many bands in my opinion, that truly goes to that level. That's why Nightwish is the biggest one, and that it is very hard to reach that, because of how much effort it takes and work. But yeah, I just really love that this is a common genre, and that a lot of bands are trying it, because you hear a lot of different elements, and you can do it. You can add metalcore, you can add death metal, you can add black metal, like Septic Flesh, Flesh God Apocalypse. They all do those orchestral things with symphonic and black metal, death metal. So it's so open, and this is what I really love about it.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. I like symphonic metal a lot, but I don't always like it. Like, I don't always like the bands, because I think it's difficult, as you were saying. So
yes.
and I really like classical music, so I can like identify, like, sometimes you can notice if it's only a keyboard like adding stuff, or if it's like actually like a symphonic work, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's great.
So yeah, it's a difficult genre.
Yes, it is. I agree with that. I also actually don't. I love symphonic metal, but I don't listen that many bands in the genre. I have a few that I truly love, but it's true that yeah, it's yeah. Some are really grabbing my attention, and yeah, it's also so many bands nowadays in that genre. We cannot like everything.
True. It would be just impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so along that line, I think it's interesting the way Xandria came back, because it's Xandria, right? But it's pretty much a new band.
Yes.
But it's not a new band because it's Xandria. So
Yes.
how does that feel as a band? Because it's not like you're starting a band because you come to a long, well-known band, but much of you, like most of you besides Marco, like, are new. So how does that feel?
Yeah, I think it's a very good thing that happened to the band. And yeah, despite of course the personal relationship being a little bit difficult here and there. So, but I wasn't in the band back then, so yeah, that doesn't really concern me. But I think I can see the the motivation with Marco now, and the creativity flow, which of course, when you're not so happy in a band, the music, you can hear it in the music. And now I think if you listen the last album and this album, you can maybe feel that there's some fresh new ideas and a lot of energy and motivation. So I think this is a very good thing that happened. And the new lineup, we get along so well. It's truly wonderful being on tour with them. So we crave that. We crave being on tour together and do more things together. And that is a very positive point, I think.
Yeah, of course. Like I think it's super important, like to feel like a band, like to be friends with your bandmates, right?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely.
That's pretty cool. And I haven't checked the tour dates, but what do you have for America?
We have for North America in August with Camelot and Battle Beast, August, September. Then we are planning a little like headlining tour in Europe, not too big. And yeah, we are also working on South America, of course, but it's not that easy. We need more offers, promoters, and things like this. So it's not as easy to put it together, unfortunately, but we will definitely come.
Yeah, that's good to hear. I think it started with Epica, that made like seven tour dates in Mexico. That
Yeah.
this was like last year, and I think after that, other bands like saw it was possible, and like you perhaps know that there are a lot of metalheads in Mexico and South.
Yes.
So other bands started doing like also many tour dates, like Lacrimosa, Stratovarius made a couple. So I think they are coming a little bit more over here, and I think that's great.
It's really great.
I'm sure that people from here and from South America, particularly from Brazil, because Cultura and Peso started in Brazil, I think there will be a lot of people that would like to see the new Xandria.
I think so too. I get a lot of messages, from Brazilian fans, like you said, a lot, and also Mexico is always on our top like listen countries of the band. So I know that, of course, they are waiting for that, and we will definitely come. That's for sure.
Right. Well, now I am. You can count me among those.
Great, great.
Well, so I hope to see you all at some point soon.
Yeah, me too.
Or even if it's not soon, it's okay. Whenever it's possible.
Yeah, we are working on it. Might take a little while, but it will happen.
Good. Yeah, and so then does so you already say that the band dynamics is good. Does this started like quickly, or does it took you a while to get used to it, or when did it started to feel like a band?
Immediately, actually. And we also we were looking for the members. I was already in there working, and then when we were thinking, okay, it's time to make a band now, then we started looking for musicians, and we started looking for people that has a personality that we know will fit. And they all are different, but somehow all of us together bring something in the band, and it goes really well together. So somehow we managed to find the personalities that we know would really work in a band and with us also. So it immediately it worked.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And how do you personally feel now? Like, is it like you thought it would be to be in Xandria, either when you already had composed the songs, or I don't know, long time ago, if you thought you would be the lead singer of a symphonic band? Like, how does it feel now?
I never thought it would happen. It was a dream of mine for a long time, because I love to sing for such a long time now, but I never thought it would happen. I was a little bit keeping that direction in my mind. I had contact in the music business. I was knowing a little bit how it works, and but when that happened, it felt a little bit unreal. A lot of things are of course it's wonderful living the dream. It's not so many people that can say that, so I'm so grateful about this. At the same time, it can be very stressful. It's a kind of stress that I was not expecting. I get overwhelmed in the beginning by also negativity a little bit, and things that you plan in your head and that doesn't happen the way you planned it, because of course there's a business involved into it. You're not completely free, and this is the thing that I had trouble accepting in the beginning. So it was a little bit tough, but now I step back a little bit, and from those, okay, if it has to work like this, we will do it this way, and trying to compromise where it's okay to compromise, and the rest keeping our head strong and do what we want to do. This is very important for me, that nobody can say something about the creativity and the music. For Marco also, this is very important. But I'm feeling better now. I'm more used to it. To all the other sides of the music.
Yes, I can imagine, because I've never been the front singer of a big band, but I've been in positions that I wanted to be, or in some scenarios that I wanted to be, And then I'm there, like I realized that there are a lot of things that I wasn't considering, and I think we have this tendency to idolize things.
Yeah, we do.
Even more if it's something we want, right?
We do. You're absolutely right.
We realize that there's a lot more, and there are things that are not cool, and that kind of things.
Yes, in any job. Yeah.
Yes, but well, I'm happy that that you went along with it, that you could put like acknowledge that, but put it on a side for saying it how. So, and yeah,
Thank you.
Great that you feel good now. Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Well, I think those were my questions.
Great.
Yeah, and I liked talking about this. Like it was fun. Like I was really curious about some of them, so I'm happy you answer.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like that too. Good questions. Good conversation.
Thank you. It was fun. Do you have anything to close up with?
Just that I'm looking forward to come to South America, Mexico, because I know that we have very dedicated fans there, and I love the passion of the audience and the fans and the crowd. So yeah, I'm really looking forward.
Oh, that's great. I am sure that many people will be happy to hear this. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for the interview, and
thank you.
And
yeah, take care.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.